Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. This time we're tackling a topic that's generating a ton of buzz, AI in education. But we're going beyond the hype, to really understand how AI is actually changing the learning landscape.
Yeah, it's a fascinating time to be looking at this. There's so much happening, so much research coming out about personalized learning apps, AI tutors that can support students around the clock. It's really quite remarkable.
I know when I was reading up on this, the idea of personalized learning really jumped out at me. It sounds incredible in theory, but I'm curious, how does it actually work in practice?
Well, think about it this way. Traditional classrooms, everyone gets the same lesson, the same pace, right? But with AI, the learning experience can be tailored to each student's individual needs.
So let me see if I get this. If I'm someone who, let's say, struggles with algebra, the AI would recognize that and maybe slow down the pace, give me more practice problems, something like that.
Exactly. It's about meeting students where they are. And on the flip side, if you're grasping a concept quickly, the AI can challenge you with more advanced material, keep you engaged. It's really quite amazing.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So it's not about forcing everyone into the same box. It's about helping everyone learn effectively at their own pace in a way that works best for them. I mean, that's pretty cool.
And it can make learning more enjoyable too, right? When the material is relevant to your interest, your skill level, it's naturally more engaging. And some platforms even use AI to recommend like additional resources, activities based on what you're learning to keep you motivated.
That's a great point. I can definitely see how that would make a huge difference, especially for students who maybe struggle with traditional learning environments. Speaking of making learning more accessible, what about AI tutors? That was something that really blew my mind in the research.
AI tutors are a game changer, no doubt. I mean, imagine having access to a tutor anytime, day or night. That's what these platforms offer. Think ChatGPT, Google's Socratic, they're all available 24/7. They can help with homework, explain complex concepts, even provide feedback on writing. It's incredible.
So it's like having a teacher in your pocket ready to help whenever you need it. Wow. That'd be so helpful for students who maybe don't have a lot of support at home or learn at a different pace than their classmates. It could really level the playing field.
Absolutely. And it can also be a huge benefit for teachers. Imagine AI taking over tasks like grading multiple choice quizzes or even giving some basic feedback on essays. It frees up teachers to focus on more individualized instruction, lesson planning, the things that really require that human touch.
Okay, so it's not about replacing teachers. It's more about giving them a superpowered assistant, helping them do their jobs even better. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. It's about harnessing technology to create a more efficient and effective learning environment for everyone involved. And this actually leads to another fascinating aspect of AI in education, its potential to bridge educational gaps, especially in underserved communities.
That's a really crucial point. I know we have some research on how AI can support students who speak different languages, who live in remote areas. It's an incredibly promising area. And let's dive into that right after the break. So we were talking about AI's potential to make education more accessible before we moved on. And it really seems like AI could be a really powerful tool for reaching those students who might otherwise fall through the cracks.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most exciting areas is AI-driven translation. We're talking real-time translation tools that could break down language barriers in the classroom.
Whoa, that's incredible. I mean, can you imagine a classroom where everyone can understand each other no matter what language they speak? I mean, that would be a game changer for students learning English as a second language.
For sure. It would totally level the playing field, allow them to fully participate in the learning experience. And it's not just language barriers. AI can also help bring quality education to remote areas where access to specialized teachers is limited.
Right, so even if you're in a small town or a rural community, you could still get the same level of instruction as students in big cities?
Precisely. AI tutors and online learning platforms can provide personalized instruction and support regardless of location. It could be huge for rural communities or even homeschooled students.
Yeah, it sounds like AI has the potential to really democratize education, make it more accessible and equitable for everyone. It's pretty inspiring.
It is, and there are even more exciting possibilities on the horizon. One area that's particularly interesting is the intersection of AI and immersive technologies like VR.
Oh wow, virtual reality. Now that sounds futuristic. What kind of applications are we talking about here?
Imagine students using VR headsets to explore ancient Rome, dissect a virtual frog, even walk through a human heart.
Okay, now that's just cool.
Right. These immersive experiences can make learning so much more engaging and memorable. And when you combine VR with AI, you can personalize the experience even further.
So the AI could adjust the difficulty of the simulation based on how the student's doing, or even guide them through the experience based on their interests.
Exactly. It's like having a personal tour guide through the world of knowledge. And this kind of AI-powered immersive learning could be a huge benefit for students who learn best through hands-on experiences.
It sounds like the possibilities are pretty much endless. This deep dive has been so eye-opening. But before we wrap up, I'd love to get your overall thoughts on the future of AI in education.
Well, it's a really dynamic landscape and it's evolving so rapidly. It's hard to predict exactly what the future holds, but one thing is certain, AI is going to play an increasingly important role in shaping how we teach and learn.
It feels like we're at the very beginning of a real revolution in education.
I think so too. And what's most exciting is that AI has the potential to make education more effective, more engaging, and more equitable for all students.
That's a vision I think we can all get behind. So what does this all mean for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as they navigate this new world of AI-powered education?
Well, I think the key takeaway is that AI is a tool. It's not a magic bullet, but it can be a powerful force for good if we use it thoughtfully and intentionally.
Right. So it's not about blindly embracing every new technology. It's about understanding the potential benefits and the challenges, and then making informed decisions about how to integrate AI into education in a way that truly serves students.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance, between leveraging the power of technology and preserving the human element of teaching and learning.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, I think this deep dive has given our listeners a lot to think about and a lot to explore further. What final thought would you leave them with?
I would just encourage everyone to stay curious, keep learning about AI and its implications for education, and be active participants in shaping this future. It's an exciting journey, and we all have a role to play.
Well said. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the possibilities. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI in education. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. It's been quite a deep dive so far. I mean, from personalized learning and AI tutors to those incredible immersive experiences, it feels like we've only scratched the surface.
It really does feel that way. It's such a dynamic landscape, and it's evolving at such a rapid pace. It's hard to predict exactly what the future holds, but one thing is for sure, AI is going to have an increasingly important role in shaping how we teach and learn.
It feels like we're at the very beginning, like we said, of a real revolution in education.
I think so too.
Right.
And what's most exciting to me is the potential for AI to make education more effective, more engaging, and more equitable for all students.
That's a vision I think we can all get behind. But how do we get there? I mean, what does this all mean for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as they try to navigate this new world of AI-powered education?
Well, I think the most important takeaway is that AI is a tool, right? It's not a magic bullet. It's not going to solve all of education's problems overnight, but it can be a really powerful force for good if we use it thoughtfully and intentionally.
So it's not about just, blindly embracing every new technology that comes along. It's about understanding the potential benefits and the challenges.
Yeah.
And making informed decisions about how to integrate AI into education in a way that truly serves students.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance, between leveraging the power of technology and preserving the human element of teaching and learning.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think this deep dive has given our listeners a lot to think about, a lot to explore further. What final thought would you leave them with as we wrap up this episode?
I would just encourage everyone to stay curious, Keep learning about AI and its implications for education. And don't just be a spectator. Be an active participant in shaping this future. It's going to be an exciting journey, and we all have a role to play.
Very well said. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the possibilities. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI in education. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.